Hey everyone, my name is Kaya and welcome to my channel. Very cringy thing to say at the beginning of the video, but it is my first video. Basically, I'm starting this on a whim because I'm home from school all summer and I have nothing to do until July. And I have a friend of mine, very talented, very beautiful, Penelope. She is in LA right now and is vlogging her experience, and I was like, I should totally steal her idea and vlog, except I can't really vlog because there's nothing going on in my life right now. So until something does happen in my life, aka me moving to New York City, I thought it would be fun to just make random theater related videos of whatever I want and whatever you want. So if you like memes, if you like rants, if you like anything related to musical theater and Broadway and West End and all that jazz, then come along for the ride. This is my little couch that I have here. It's not really a couch, but I'm just gonna call it a couch. This is where I'm gonna have all of my videos filmed. So for the first time, welcome to the couch, or the couch segment. Should I make it a segment? I don't know. Anyway, you're probably wondering what we're gonna do today. And from the title of this video, you probably know. Today, we're going to look over theater and musical theater hot takes. Now, hot takes have always been in the theater community. It's nothing new, but we've seen a recent surge in people talking about their musical theater and theater hot takes. I was on Instagram today and I found this post from West End MT that was asking people about their musical theater hot takes, but not just any hot takes. It says, tell us your most controversial MT hot take. And I don't mean Hamilton is overrated or Evan Hansen is a villain. I want violence. So we're gonna read over some of these and I'm gonna give my opinion based on what we have here in the comment section. So make sure you check out West End MT's Instagram, give them a follow, and without further ado, let's cause some violence. Our first comment today is, we don't want film adaptations, we want pro shots. I feel like this is a very common hot take and also is a very valid hot take. I agree. However, pro shots are so expensive, y'all. There is a reason Hamilton, and it's only Hamilton and a select few other shows that have been able to get their pro shots. I mean, you have to really be a successful company, a successful show in order to have the money to get a pro shot. But that doesn't mean that I am against pro shots. I 100% will choose pro shots over film adaptations any day. There is a reason why I didn't watch the Mean Girls movie musical. I didn't have to watch it to see how bad it was, especially that whole Stupid with Love. Girl, you did not sound astounded. You were not filled with calculus. That girl was not filled with calculus, oh my gosh. And also just the general lack of character study. Having Regina George sponsor Elf, are you kidding me? Regina George is not an Elf girl. She is a Juicy Couture girl. She is a Prada girl. She is Dior. Elf? You already know my stance that I think that not a lot of people think that pro shots are very expensive and only a select number of shows that do really well financially are able to do so. However, I will choose pro shots over musical adaptations any day of the week, period. Let's continue. Mean Girls did not need to become a movie musical. Broadway musical is enough. I'm gonna go a step further and say it didn't need to be a musical in the first place. I know, hear me out. Do I love Tina Fey? Absolutely, yes I do. However, there was no need for it to become a Broadway musical. Come on now. And making it into a movie musical just made it worse. I mean, hats off to Renee Rapp because I'm sure that helped her career. And also the actress who played Karen. I don't know her name because, again, I didn't watch the movie, but I heard she did well. But yeah, Mean Girls should have stayed as a 2000s chick flick. It was great as a 2000s chick flick. Didn't need to become a Broadway musical. Moving on. Bring back overtures. Bring back original musicals. I am sick of these modern musicals. As a lyric soprano, I fear I have to agree. I don't fear I have to agree. I agree. I just did a production of The Drowsy Chaperone back in February, and The overture is so much fun. In fact, there's an entire monologue that the man in the chair has where he talks to the audience about how overtures are out of style these days. I love overtures with all my heart. When I did Anything Goes, the overture for that was like 5 minutes long, but it was beautiful. Where are the overtures these days? That reminds me, I need to listen to the Audra McDonald revival of Gypsy because there is an overture in that, and I heard a little bit already. That's really good. So yes, let's bring back overtures. Overtures are great. Also, support the orchestra, support the musicians who are on Broadway. Not every screen actor was meant to be a stage actor. Okay, here's my thing with this. I feel like a lot of screen actors started as stage actors. Like a lot of them majored in theater in college, or at least studied theater. Because one thing about screen acting is like you're going to have to study theater at some point. It's a given. If you're acting on screen and you haven't studied theater, you should study theater. However, screen acting and stage acting are completely different things. So I do agree that not every screen actor is great at stage acting, but I feel like every screen actor should be educated in stage acting. Which reminds me, when I went to London in January, I saw Sigourney Weaver play Prospero in the West End production of The Tempest, and my god, is that woman amazing. I love her. Ooh, I love this one. Gender bending needs to happen in theater more often. I would love to see a WLW version of Heathers with a woman playing JD, or a WLW version of Waitress. This I agree with so much. Now, I'm not the biggest Heathers and Waitress fan. Of course, I'm like fans of them, but I'm not like, they aren't my top musicals that I listen to. But I agree, we need more women playing male roles, okay? Here's a hot take. Potentially a hot take? I don't know how to describe this take. When Hamilton came out, the reason why it was so popular, not just because of like the rap and the mixing with American history, but also because all of the principal actors were people of color who were portraying white historical figures. And that was great. But why don't we take it a step further and have like a woman play Thomas Jefferson? How about a black woman play Thomas Jefferson? I would love to see a woman play like Hamilton or Burr or like one of the founding fathers. It would be great. I totally agree with this. We need to have more women playing male roles. Having a woman play Clyde Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde would be amazing. Oh my god, that needs to happen like right now. Ooh, here's another one. Grease is a horrible musical about a sweet young girl changing everything about herself for a boy. Thank you! I have been saying this since like the first time I ever watched Grease, which I'm pretty sure was my freshman year of high school. It's a terrible message to girls to change yourself just for a man. Hello? No thank you. I'm saying this right now as my community college next to me is doing a production of Grease. So if anyone who's in Grease watches this, hi, I probably know you and I love you and I hope the show goes well. I hate the message in Grease, which is to change yourself for a man. That is awful. Don't ever do that. The Hunchback of Notre Dame should have gone to Broadway instead of Frozen. Yes. I don't even need to read the rest of this comment. Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry. Have you heard the overture for The Hunchback of Notre Dame? It's stunning. And the fact that they had an actual choir as like, they had, not only did they have like an ensemble, a chorus, but they had a choir in the back actually singing the music. It's incredible. It is so beautiful. How that production didn't transfer to Broadway, I will never know. I will never know, because it had a stacked cast and a stacked choir, a stacked ensemble, and the set and the lighting were fantastic. Disney really fumbled on that one, and instead we got Frozen, which, Frozen's okay. I like some of the new songs that they added, but compared to Hunchback of Notre Dame, are you kidding me? Ooh, people need to relearn how to sound like themselves instead of just belting everything. As a lyric soprano, who cannot belt, I have to interject my opinion, as I always do, on the topic of belting, and to which I agree with this statement. I feel like Broadway and the musical theater industry in general is creating this very unsustainable style of singing where you're just expected to belt everything because the audience thinks it sounds better when you belt. And at this point, we've kind of forgotten, well, one, we've forgotten how nice things sound when you don't belt them, like if you mix or if you just use your head voice. And two, we've forgotten really how dangerous it is for your voice. You're really putting pressure and stress on your vocal cords, and that in the long run isn't going to be great. And when you combine that with wanting a soprano who can belt high notes, you're just asking for poor vocal health in the long run. That's my opinion. Again, I'm biased. I'm a lyric soprano who can't belt. Also raised from from a mom who did choir music and absolutely hates belting, even hates the word belting. But yeah, that's my hot take on that. Musicals need a set. No more of this bare stage because you want to be cool. I'm a little confused on this one because I don't think there are many Broadway shows on right now that have a bare set. I don't think there's a lack of real sets in shows right now. I'm really racking my brain trying to think of a show right now that doesn't actually use a set. But I'm not coming up with any. I'm pretty sure like every musical on Broadway right now has a set. There's no bare set. I mean, a set is whatever you make of it. It doesn't matter if it's just maybe one block in the middle of the stage or like you have a whole house. Both of those are a set. I don't really agree with this take. There aren't really any shows right now that have no set. Ooh, okay, here's one. Most musicals are just a glorification of smut with no real artistry. It is a glorification of cheap theater for the masses that are cheesy songs and poor acting with showy bravado. Again, most, not all. I want to disagree on this one, not because, you know, I studied this and want to be on Broadway at some point, but because I disagree. I don't think it's a glorification of smut with no real artistry. I mean, just because a show may have scenes where there's physical intimacy or emotional intimacy doesn't make it smut. We're not just putting actors out on the stage to be smutty at each other for no reason. I mean, if you take a look at, like in Hadestown with the contemporary dance and the recreation of Orpheus and Eurydice being intimate with one another, that is a beautiful piece of art where Eurydice is telling him through song that all her life she's never been able to trust anyone, and she's finally able to trust this one person, being Orpheus, and saying like, say that you'll hold me forever and we'll always be like this no matter what. And Orpheus promises her. As we know from the show, that isn't the case, and it's a beautiful thing, in my opinion. It's definitely not cheap theater for the masses. As we know, Broadway is extremely expensive. Musicals are very expensive. The poor acting, I can see your point of view on that. I feel like in the industry, we're prioritizing singing and vocal technique over acting technique, which should change. But I have to disagree with this take. I think that when producers and directors direct intimate scenes in shows, whether they're physical or emotional intimate scenes, that they're taken with a lot of seriousness and a lot of care to make sure that it leaves the audience vulnerable, and it's a beautiful piece of art. Okay, we'll do one last one. Ooh, actually we'll do two. Okay, there's one here that says, not everything needs a junior or teen edition version. The fact that there's an Avenue Q one is crazy. Is there an Avenue Q junior? Wait, hold on. I need to see this. There's no way that there is an Avenue Q teen version. Oh my god. It's real. It's real. Avenue Q School Edition. My social life is online. Is that supposed to be the replacement for the internet is for
Finally, I get to teach an entire lesson all by myself. I'm going to teach something emotionally significant. I'm going to teach them about friendship. A friend is something everybody needs.
Online.
A person with friends is a person who succeeds.
Online.
When someone new says hi,
Online.
there's no need to be shy.
Online.
Who cares if they're a girl or they're a guy?
Online.
Trekkie?
Social life is online.
Trekkie!
Social life is online.
What are you doing?
Have friends and me to find just online.
Trekkie monster!
Oh my god! I didn't realize that there was actually a school version of Avenue Q. My social life is online. Yeah, I'm gonna agree on this hot take. There does not need to be a school edition of Avenue Q. I wonder if that last hot take was referring to Avenue Q with all the smut. Avenue Q is a different story. Let Avenue Q be. It's Sesame Street for adults. Keep it like that. Our last hot take today. Wicked is overhyped. Yes and no. I think the story itself is really great. I love the story and I love the acting. I feel like a lot of the actors and actresses in the show typically do very well with the acting in the story. The vocals, the songs themselves, especially Alphaba songs, because we all know Defying Gravity is basically what started the whole belting craze that we have right now. But I think that if we overlook certain songs, Defying Gravity, No Good Deed, not that they're bad, trust me, I listen to No Good Deed all the time. I listen to the German version of No Good Deed, but I really like Wicked. I really love the story. I really like the duets, like For Good and As Long As You're Mine. And I love the entire production of it. Have I seen the show like 3 times? Yeah. Am I a little bit biased? Maybe. But I like Wicked, so I'm gonna disagree with this take. Alright, that's all for this video on musical theater hot takes. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below what your favorite musical hot takes are. My musical theater hot take is that there needs to be a Tony Award for Best Ensemble. I'm sure that there's some sort of award that's not in the Tonys for Best Ensemble, but it is time that we have a Tony Award for Best Ensemble, because as much as the industry loves to hype up ensembles and understudies and standbys and swings, we don't have an award for them. So it's about time. Just saying. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe. I'll be doing more videos like this, more videos about theater topics, theater news, and hopefully I'll be able to keep this up long enough that you'll be able to see me move into my apartment in New York City, where I'm going to be attending Circle on the Square Theater School for the next 2 years. So make sure you stick around, and I'll see you in the next video.